Most buildings fall because of a single mistake, a weak foundation, a bad design choice, an unexpected disaster. But the Leaning Tower of Pisa, it was born as a mistake, and somehow, it survived for more than 800 years. Earthquakes shook Italy, wars swept across Europe, entire cities collapsed and disappeared, yet this tower, leaning at an impossible angle, never fell. So the real question isn't why it leans. The real question is, why didn't it collapse? Construction began in 1173 in the city of Pisa. At the time, Pisa was rich, powerful, and proud. This tower wasn't meant to be famous. It was meant to be perfect. Perfectly vertical. Perfectly symmetrical. A symbol of wealth and religious devotion. But just 5 years into construction, something went terribly wrong. The south side of the tower began to sink, slowly, silently. The ground beneath it was too soft, a dangerous mix of clay, sand, and silt. And the foundation? Only 3 meters deep. Far too shallow for a stone tower this tall. The builders had made a fatal error, or so it seemed. As the tower leaned, panic spread. If construction continued, the tower would fall. So the builders did something unexpected. They stopped. Not for days, not for months, for nearly 100 years. Wars broke out. Pisa fought its rivals. Money ran out. And during that long pause, the ground beneath the tower settled. The soil compressed. The sinking slowed. Without realizing it, the builders had given the tower exactly what it needed. Time. That pause may have saved the tower's life. When construction finally resumed, the lean was impossible to ignore. The tower was already tilted, so the architects tried something desperate. They built the upper floors slightly taller on one side than the other. A medieval attempt to fight physics. It didn't fix the lean, but it did something else. It shifted the tower's center of gravity, helping it stay balanced, like a person leaning but adjusting their stance to avoid falling. The tower wasn't straight, but it was stable. Italy sits in a highly seismic zone. Over the centuries, massive earthquakes destroyed churches, palaces, and cities. The Leaning Tower of Pisa remained. Why? Because of a phenomenon scientists later called dynamic soil structure interaction. In simple terms, the same soft soil that caused the tower to lean also absorbed earthquake energy. Instead of violently shaking the tower, the ground moved with it. The tower swayed, but didn't snap. Its greatest weakness became its greatest protection. By the 20th century, the lean had become dangerous. By 1990, the tower tilted over 5.5 degrees. Collapse felt inevitable. So engineers stepped in, but even modern science had to tread carefully. Too much correction, and the tower could fall. They removed small amounts of soil from beneath the higher side. They added counterweights. They worked slowly, painfully slowly. After 11 years, the lean was reduced slightly and stabilized. The tower was declared safe, still leaning, still standing. The Tower of Pisa didn't survive because it was perfect. It survived because construction pauses allowed the soil to settle. Builders adapted instead of abandoning it. Soft ground absorbed earthquake energy. Human intervention came just in time. It is a monument to human error and human persistence. A reminder that sometimes mistakes don't destroy us. Sometimes they teach us how to survive. For more than 8 centuries, the Tower of Pisa has leaned toward collapse and refused to fall. It stands not because it defied gravity, but because it learned how to live with it. And maybe that's why it still captures our imagination. Because deep down, we see ourselves in that tower, imperfect, unbalanced, leaning, yet still standing.